that we can. Good. So after this, we'll do AUD card and gold. So we analyzed gold last night. So gold is actually playing out our analysis, but let's do Euro AUD first. So Euro AUD, as always, it makes sense when you are trading. We want to look at things from the higher time frame first. It makes sense, so that way you get the full story of market structure. So let me just delete all of this. Now, this is Euro AUD on the daily time frame. As a matter of fact, let's start from the weekly chart. All right. On the weekly charts, what are we seeing on the weekly? Ultimately, price is in a downtrend on the weekly. If you see it, if you look at this properly, let me mark out the structure, right? You can see something like this, right? And then this price is currently retracing into this range here. Now, all of this on the weekly is just a bunch of supply range here. All of this is a supply range, okay? And then price is currently reacting at these zones. All right, so welcome on board, Mr. Kelechi, Mr. Sokwato Ewu. All right, so I'll still let us know some more information for those joining. Now, price is in a supply on a weekly. So general perspective on Euro AUD would be to possibly look for opportunity to sell here. But because this is a weekly time frame, because this is the weekly time frame, even though we are anticipating sales, the sales is not going to start like that. There's going to be a lot of liquidity grabs possibly in this zone before the real sell move happen. How do we know that indeed this particular trend should shift to an uptrend? Price needs to possibly break this lower high right here before we know that, okay, this is the zone. This momentum wants to shift from bearish to bullish, but well, all of this is on the weekly time frame. So we're just taking a cue from the weekly. All right, so let's go to the daily chart and then see what's going on the daily. Now we know that this zone is a supply zone on the day, on the weekly, and then the daily is giving us a bullish order flow here. As you can see, price going up like so. So we can consider this 30 bit of structure here, and then price is doing this, and then we are seeing price retracing over here, and then a little bit of liquidity grab here. Now, if I've been following my analysis for a while, when we see price do this kind of structure here, now let me use a line to highlight this. This over here is a week, even though we had a high that is higher than this previous high, but because the body of the candle did not close above this zone, so I wouldn't consider this as a higher high. Best bet, this is just possibly a liquidity grab or a stop hunt by the big financial institutions. All right, so if we want to be very, very creative and predictive, what might be happening here is a possible reversal structure happening here. So if you are being creative, we can just say this is like a possible M pattern like so, and then we're expecting price to possibly go down from here. Now we are taking all of that inference because of the weekly supply zone here. We are in a weekly supply, and if you check it out properly on the weekly chart, let me delete all of this. On the weekly charts, we have seen some form of liquidity grab here. Now, all of this is a supply range. At the first mitigation of this is the first mitigation of this particular supply here. And then price is coming up to take out this liquidity here. So this is a liquidity grab here. And so all of this is a move to take out people's liquidity. And then in this same move, on the daily time frame, we are seeing some form of indecision over here, okay, because a higher high was not formed. Okay, we are seeing a stop hunt or a liquidity grab here. So all of this is giving us is showing us that possibly price wants to reverse. All right, so my buyers, based on what they is telling me right now, my buyers is to look for sales on Euro AUD. So what do I do? Because I don't take entry on the daily, so let's go a time frame deeper. So let's go to the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart as well, let's see if we can see a possible scenario to sell. So we want to see if the bullish structure has shifted to bearish structure on H4, and everything is happening in this weekly supply. So let's mark out the structure on H4. As you can see, impulse, correction, impulse. All right, good. And then what can we see here? Very, very clear market structure. This higher low was taken out like so. This. So we can see this. We have some of a flip zone here like so. And then price doing all of this. Okay. So what do we have here? We can see price trending downwards already on H4. So that's an order flow shift from bullish to bearish on H4. And then currently we have price retracing back to a supply zone. And then let us mark out the supply. All of this right here is a range of supply. All of this right here, okay, is a supply range. Let's do a different color real quick. Okay, this right here is a range of supply, or if you want to refine it a bit, just use this refined supply here. And in this supply zone, you can also see this liquidity grab here. This is the extreme of the supply. Okay, price has broken the zone, a liquidity grab, which is also tying into a previous supply. This right here is a previous supply. So if we take this zone right here, all right, so price is aligning at a supply level. All right. So if you know that, if you understand supply and liquidity, it makes sense right now to look for sell opportunities. Based on the weekly, we're able to figure out that price on the weekly is in a supply level. And even on the weekly, there's been liquidity grab. On daily, we are seeing indecision on daily. We also saw stop hunt on daily. This is the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, the order flow has shifted from bullish to bearish. Now we have price retracing into a supply, this supply right here. And then we are seeing this stop hunt move right here. And then price is aligning with a previous supply. Okay, so if you want to be very, very aggressive, possibly you are a swing trader and you don't mind holding trades for several days or even 1 to 2 weeks, it makes sense to take entry right now if you want to. If you are taking your entry right now, what you want to do is to put your stop loss somewhere above this level here, this previous supply. Okay, somewhere above this level is where you can put your stop loss. Okay, so that's if you want to be very, very aggressive, because we are seeing elements of stop hunting. And anytime that we see liquidity grabs in the market, usually after a liquidity grab, price is going to drop. All right, so we are seeing that happen over here, and then the order flow on 4 hours is still very much bearish. So you wouldn't be wrong taking a sell right here. Okay, so if this zone does not hold, this extreme is possibly going to hold at the top over here. All right. So if you put your stop loss above here and then you get taken out, you can take another entry at this extreme supply here. Okay. So that's what I think we can do on Euro UD. I'm waiting on this pair. I took an entry on this pair earlier today. Okay. I wish I could show you my trading. I think I just sent the screenshots in the Telegram group, right? I took an early entry, made a few profit and pips, but was kicked out, right? So how do you get possibly a tighter entry and a more secure entry? Like I said, if you're a swing trader, maybe you are very busy. It makes sense to look for sells too. You can place an entry on this trade right now if you are a swing trader. So let's go to lower time frame, like 15 minutes. So we know that price has taken our liquidity, all right? So we are looking for sells, all right? Let me do something good. So this is what I think is going to happen if this move is real. Now, what's going to happen is we can look at this like so, okay? If you are into chart patterns, reversal patterns, right? This is a possible M pattern or heads and shoulder pattern about to form, right? Like so. So this is the left shoulder, like so. So if price should break this zone like this, and then we see, let me delete this, and then we see a break of this zone. If we see a break here, so what you can do is, if you are very aggressive, you can take entry at this breakout, like so here. Let me use this. You can take entry at this breakout. So right now, what you can do is to just possibly set a sell stop here. Okay, and then you can be very, very secure and put your stop loss above, or you wait for price to do something like this. Or what you want to wait for is for price to break this zone, then at the retracement into possibly, let's say the 50% or the 61.8, you can take entry and then you exit that maybe 1.217, 218 or 1.618. So that's for people that are into Fibonacci. So here's what I'm talking about. So if you use your fibs, let's say from here, price breaks the zone. And then, so if price should retrace into the 618 or 71.6, you can take entry from either of those zones, and then you exit at 1.27 to 1.18. But ideally, I'm favoring the sell buyers on Euro AUD, because from the higher time frame, price is giving us every reason that this guy wants to sell. All right. So I think price is still going to come back into the zone. So two possible chart patterns are going to form on 15 minutes on this pair. The first chart pattern is possibly an M pattern that will form here, that will complete here, and a possible heads and shoulder pattern here. Okay. Now, I know that a lot of Forex traders or Forex trainers have kind of demonized W pattern, M pattern, heads and shoulders, and chart pattern. But at the end of the day, they still work every single week in the foreign exchange market. The best time to use W patterns, M patterns, head and shoulder patterns, or any other chart pattern is to use them after we've seen liquidity grabs, okay? And that is that's why I'm considering this chart pattern. So we've seen multiple grabs of liquidity. This in itself is also a liquidity break. You can see this equal high here was taken out by this move, like so. Okay, so this in itself is a lot of people's stop losses has been taken out, liquidity. All right. So that'll give them enough momentum or enough volume to push price in the direction it's supposed to go. All right. So If you have taken entry on the 4 hours, you should be in this trade by now if you are swinging it. If you want to take entry on an intraday time frame, like 15 minutes, like so, you can just set your sell stop below this zone, at this zone, so that when price gets here, you'll be put into the trade, or you wait for price to break this neckline like so. Once you see the break, you wait for the retracement, and then you take entry here. All right. If that makes sense to you, type in "makes sense" in the chat box. Let me know if you got value so far. If you understand what I'm saying, type in "makes sense" or value in the chat box, and then we'll go to another pair. So we are checking out gold and AUD CAD next. All right, good. Kelechi, I see. Good. So, so that's what you can trade on Euro AUD. Okay, so let's check out gold real quick. Even though we checked out gold yesterday, if you are on the Sunday source yesterday, so gold has been playing out. Remember, we said that gold is going to pick up from this zone here. Okay, and then gold has been dropping ever since, but you see, have an opportunity to enter gold if you have not taken entry on gold. So you want to go to, let's go to a lower time frame, like 15 minutes. All right, let me go to 30 minutes. Let's see. Good. So on 30 minutes, what do we have on gold? Now, before I start on 30 minutes, let me do like a background for people that are not in the session. So let me delete everything here. Good. So this is gold on the weekly time frame. And what is the structure on weekly on gold? Price is in a downtrend like so. You can see this move here. All right. And then price is retracing to this supply here. So this is supply that is currently in control on the weekly time frame over here. And if we zoom this in properly, you will see a little bit of a liquidity grab here, some little tiny bit of stop hunting here. This high is higher than this supply high here. And then we didn't see the close of the candle. And this is also aligning with a previous range of supply here. This is what I'm referring to. This is the supply. Okay, so price is aligning at these zones. Okay, so we know that price is in a weekly supply, and in a supply level, we are looking to sell. So weekly is saying that we should sell, and then we've seen a liquidity grab. Let's go to the daily chart. Daily chart, what did we see on daily? So let's make this bigger. On daily, we are seeing this so we have impulse, correction, and impulse on daily. Now, even though on daily, price is still, if you look at it on daily, price is still very much bullish on daily, okay? But whenever we see price go beyond a break of, this is a break of structural zone here, all right? Break of structural zone here. Whenever we see price go beyond the break of structural zone, the expectation is for us to expect a retracement into a possible demand. Okay, so this is the next line of demand if you're looking at a refined demand zone. So price has a long way to go. So that's why we're also looking for sales here. So knowing that, we can now go to the 4 hours and then see if the order flow has shifted to bearish. If you go to the 4-hour chart, what can we see on the 4 hours? Okay. Excuse me, let me change this. Good. So on the 4 hours, this is the structure on the 4 hours. We want to see a change of order flow from bullish to bearish to confirm our sell bias. Market structure should usually be the first thing you are looking at before you apply your strategy. Now, market structure, this is it. You have the bullish move, you have the uptrend, and then what can we see here? This is the higher low that was broken, like so. You can see this move broke it, and then we are seeing price retracing. Usually, when you see price retracing like this, people that trade smart money concepts will call it a change of character. Now, and when price reverses into this extreme, this is an extreme level of supply here. When price reverses to this extreme, aggressive traders will start looking for opportunity to sell over here, even though it is still risky to sell because price has not given us real confirmation that it has shifted order flow fully to bearish. How do we know that the market structure has fully shifted from bullish to bearish? We need to see a higher low form like so, like this, okay? So we taking entry from here is an aggressive move, but we are able to anticipate that because a lot of time when we are expecting order flow shift, price tends to react from here. At least 6 or 7 out of 10 times, this should work, okay? So I was telling the people that joined the Sunday session this here, that we should expect a sell from here. And then you can see that price has been dropping. So if you missed this entry, not to worry, we can take entry on a lower time frame, okay, because price is still going to correct itself at some point in time. So let's look at where price is possibly going to correct itself. So the move has already started on 4 hours. For people that took it, a big congrats to you if you've taken it. Let's go to the 30-minute chart and see the best place to take entry. Something also very, very similar. On 30 minutes, let's also mark out the order flow, the market structure. You can see price on an uptrend like so. Okay, so I would favor this. So this is structure like so. And then this is the higher low that just got broken here. So we have seen this. So market structure, the order flow has given us a valid shift from bullish to bearish. Now, where you should expect entry on gold is to wait for price. I recommend that you wait for price to retrace possibly into this extreme. And then why do I want you to wait for price to retrace into this extreme? Because all of this here is liquidity. We have a trend line liquidity here. If you go to the 15 minutes, I think you clear on 15 minutes, right? We have liquidity here. All right. So there's a little bit of trend line here, so we might expect price to go up a bit, take out people's stop loss from here, and then tap into the supply. Once price gets here, you want to look for sells. So already what you can do is to just set your pending order here. So set your sell limit orders right now, and then for price, so at 1792. So if price should retrace here, you take entry. Where do you put your stop loss? When you take entry here, you want to put your stop loss a bit above this extreme here, okay? And then where can you target? At least you target the most recent low somewhere here. So it should be somewhere here. So if this happens, so let's say this is where price starts to reverse, at least you should have 1 to 3.8 risk to reward, which is amazing. Okay, which is amazing. So that's what I have on gold. This is what you can trade on gold. who asked the gold question? Mr. Shionfumi. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so that's why you can trade on gold. So let's answer Mr. Kelechi's question. He said we should check out GBP USD. All right, so again, what I'll do on gold is to set a pending order. If I'm not already in the trade based on the 4 hours entry, we want to set a sell limit here, right? And then you have to be very patient for price to do this. So if price will do this, this shouldn't take more than next 24 hours or 2 days max for that to happen. And then you're on the right side of the market, because on the 30-minute chart, price as the order flow has shifted from bullish to bearish. Okay, we are also on a supply zone on the weekly. All right, hope that makes sense. So let's check out the next pair. Let's check out GBP USD. All right, GBP USD. Give me a second. Let me hide my. I have some analysis here that I don't want to delete. Just all right. So GPUSD, let's start from the weekly, from higher time frame, so that we get good perspective on this pair. If you look at now, guys, let's do a bit of Q&A here. Looking at GBP USD, is price in an uptrend or a downtrend? Give me your feedback in the chat box. Is price in an uptrend or a downtrend? Let me know if you understand market structure. This is the weekly chart. Is price in an uptrend or downtrend? Mr. Kelechi said downtrend. Okay. Who's with Kelechi? Who thinks it's a downtrend as well? Type it in the chat box. All right. Mr. Efiang said downtrend. Good. So I think it's common knowledge. This is a downtrend, right? So let's highlight that zone here. And then this is the supply range here, like so. All right. This is also another, yes, confidence, you're right, downtrend. So this is also another supply. So we have some form of, I call it a cluster of supply. And then what do we have? This supply, we've seen liquidity being grabbed, like so, because this high right here, this high right here took out this liquidity here. This is liquidity. And coincidentally, everything also happened in this other supply. All right. So we have some confluence that, okay, price should drop from this place. So it makes sense to also look for sales. So this is just based on weekly, but you must know that because it's weekly, it won't be as fast as you want it to be. So we have to go on a lower time frame to find possible entries. Okay, so let's go to the daily chart and then possibly get a more microscopic view of what's going on. Now, on the daily, what do we have here? Price is still bullish on daily. As you can see, let's check it out. You can see the structure on daily. Price is bullish. Okay, like so. So we are seeing this retracement, and possibly price might come to form a higher high. We don't know yet. Okay. So we have reason to believe that based on weekly, we should look for sales. So if you are to look for sales, we need market structure on lower time frame needs to have shifted to bearish, or at the least giving us an intention to sell. Mr. Mona is asking, Yes, that's what I said, Mr. Ibuka. You can place a sell limit at that zone, yes. Okay, or just set an alert at the point so that if you feel like taking a market execution, you can do that. Okay, so back to what we're talking about. Price is still very much bullish on daily time frame. So if you're expecting to sell, we need to see the order flow shift. And if you are waiting for an order flow shift on daily, you want price to ideally break this higher low and then possibly do something like this and then you sell. But price has not done that yet. Okay, so let's see if we'll see something to trade on a lower time frame. Price is still very much bullish on this guy. Mr. Michael, please minimize the chart on weekly. There is a zone I am expecting price to grab liquidity. You mean maximize? Or is it minimizing? Which zone, Mr. Michael? Let me quickly give you opportunity to annotate the zone on the screen so that we'll see it. Which zone do you want price to grab liquidity? So I'll give you a few seconds to do that because of time. Mr. Michael, you asked a question. Yes, so annotate that zone on the screen so that we'll see what you're talking about. Which zone? Okay, so I think I'll just go on. Maybe if you figure that out, we'll do it. So we're on the daily. Okay, we are on the daily chart. Okay, don't worry, I'll go back there in a bit. Okay. Give me a second. Disable. Okay. So price possibly on daily still needs to get here. Where is my tool? Here. Higher high, possibly. So if price does not get to this high, that means this high is protected, okay? And then that will make this low right here a target, right? So you can send the link on the chat and then we'll check it out. So let's go to the H4. What are we seeing on H4 here very, very quickly? On H4, remember guys, on weekly, price is bearish. Price is in a supply zone on weekly and also bearish. And then on weekly, we've seen some form of liquidity grab on weekly. On daily, right, price should retrace. This is daily here. Okay, we just finished daily. Okay, so price is not getting to this high. We don't know why. Possibly this high is protected. Okay, so to get a confirmation on what's going on daily, if price would not get to this high to create a higher high, possibly on a lower time frame, a reversal is forming. Okay, so let's go to the 4-hour time frame, which is a lower time frame, and let's check out the order flow on 4 hours here. So this is price. You can see price coming up like so. Okay, an uptrend like that. Okay, and then price doing this. All right. Now this right here is a low, higher low, like so. Here. Let me delete this here. And then what can we see price do? You can see the break of this zone, and then we can see price retracing. What did price retrace to? Price has retraced to this extreme. Something very, very similar to what's going on gold is also happening on GBP USD. Okay. Now, if you have been trading this way, you would have taken entry here. This happened when this happened on Friday. So you have been in this trade since Friday if you are taking entry. But let's see if you can get another possible entry. So ideally, if this zone is going to hold, it is the zone that will change this bullish order flow to a bearish order flow. So the best place to look for to place your take profit is going to be at this low here. Okay, so this low needs to be broken so that we are going to see a lower low being to form. So here's what I'm talking about. So ideally on H4, if you are taking entry, you are taking entry here, you'll have put your stop loss a bit above the zone, and then your take profit to be at least at this zone. So that is a 1 to 5 risk to reward. So now that possibly you missed this entry, let's find another entry on a lower time frame. So let's go to the 30 minutes chart and see a possible entry if we can find the best place to enter this trade here. Okay, so again, we want to be sure that order flow has shifted from bullish to bearish on the 30 minutes. Okay, so let's highlight the zone, the structure, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, like so, impulse. Okay, so this right here is the higher low, and the higher low got violated with this impulse move, and then we can see price retracing to this zone here. Okay, something very similar to what happened on 4 hours. You can see why the market is very, very fractal in nature. We are seeing similar results on lower time frame. So what can we see here? Price is approaching the extreme. Let me make these charts cleaner. Right, so price is approaching this extreme here. Let's make this bigger. All right, so what you must note is that already price is in a supply. This range, if you take the whole of this range like so, this is a supply range. Okay, you are not wrong if you have already entered a sell like this, but there are times that it makes sense to also wait for price. In this case, when you see price just about to shift order flow, it makes sense to use the refined supply. And this is the last bullish candle before the downward move. And as you can see, price is just about approaching this. Price has not tapped into this extreme. So possibly, we might still have some form of bullish momentum on GBP USD this week. Okay, and then if you, of course, check out the calendar, the economic calendar, you figure out that every day of this week, we have high impact news from Monday to Friday. So it's going to be a very, very busy week. The most busy day is going to be Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to be very, very busy. So we might see, some push happen. So Monday and Tuesday should possibly set up the real move for Wednesday and Thursday. So we might see price come up a bit and take liquidity here. Okay, because we're also seeing some equal highs here. Okay, which is liquidity. So a lot of people will have placed their stop loss at this zone or their pending orders here. So it makes sense to possibly wait for price to push up the zone. Once price should do that, you can look for entry anywhere here. And then this is a 30 minutes chart. It's an intraday time frame. So if you take entry in this zone, in a few days, price should possibly hit your target. Again, you have to be very, very shrewd about your risk. Not every trade is going to go your way. You have to figure that out. All right. So when I'm telling you to take entry, remember that you see how to be the one to pull the trigger. Use the right risk per trade. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, that's what I'm saying. But if price should do this, if price should take out liquidity like so, you are in a high probability trade. Okay, so that's what I'll do. So what you can do is to possibly set another sell limit here, waiting for price to push into the zone, right? You can see price already is possibly, going up like so. We don't know if this move is going to come up here. So what you can also do is to either take entry at this zone, at this line like so, or you wait for price to get into the equilibrium of this supply level here, the middle. So it's either you take entry, so here, so if you take entry here, your stop loss should also be above the zone, or you take entry at this middle, like so, your stop loss will also be above the zone. And then you exit where? At that lower low. So that's the best place to exit, or you just do your normal fixed exits. Maybe your 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. But if I'm going to do this, I'm going to exit here. So that is 1 to 8 on the first entry, and then 1 to 17 risk to reward on second entry. But it makes sense if price goes your way, you need to be taking partials along the way. Hope that makes sense, Mr. Kelechi. Give me some feedback, guys, in the chat box if you understand what we are talking about on GBP USD. Give me some feedback in the chat box. Let me know if you are following. So what you can do is to set your sell limit at these zones, and then you'll be good. All right, Mr. Omeka understands. Kelechi also understands. Good. So let's check out another. Which other pair should we check out real quick, guys? All right, which other pair should we check out? So we have possibly the next 10 to 15 minutes left for this session. Okay, so Euro USD should be similar to GBP USD. So the same analysis there. So let's check out NAS 100 real quick. Okay. Let's check out NAS 100. Okay. So let's go to a higher time frame. Let's go to the weekly. Let's delete this. Silver. Okay. So let's do NAS first. Now, if you check out NAS on weekly, you can see that price is bearish, obviously. Let me just mark out the structure so that you guys will see properly. Price is bearish, as you can see. Okay. And then we are seeing price retracing. Okay, we are seeing a retracement. Now, what you should not ask yourself is are we done with the retracement? When I'm looking at retracement or correction, I like to wait for price to at least get to the equilibrium first. Now, in this case, we are looking to sell, right? Because it's in a downtrend. So it makes sense to sell at a premium level. So a premium level is any zone above the 50%. So all of this, let me change in a second. Let's see. Good. So all of this. So when price is above the 50% here, when price is at 50%, anywhere above the zone, it makes sense to look for sales. But when price is below 50%, you should still be looking for buys, right? So price just hits this 50%. So we can look for opportunity to sell here. And then what also can we see? We can also see this block of supply here. This is a supply. So price is in a supply. Okay. And then let's check out the first mitigation of that supply. This candle right here is the first time that this supply zone was going to be mitigated. Okay. So based on my own experience, the best time to take entry at supply and demand zone is usually you want to wait for the liquidation of mitigation. So what am I talking about? Check this out right here. This is a high right here. And then you can see price had to, oops, it's not straight. Price had to come up. Let's make this bigger. You can see price had to come back up like so. Okay, and take out this liquidity here. And then what did we see? We saw a very, very sharp move. So obviously we had already missed this selling opportunity. So based on weekly now, price is giving us a bearish reason to sell. So let's go to daily time frame. So on daily time frame, we also need to corroborate our intention to sell. Okay, so daily, we also see the graph of the liquidity graph here. So let me draw out the market structure on daily. We are waiting for price to shift from bullish to bearish. Okay, so let's mark that out real quick. So we have something like this: impulse, correction, impulse, correction, and then price has done this. But this move here, this candle did not, the body of the candle did not close above this high. So we will consider this as a higher high. Best bet is this is just another liquidity graph like so. Okay. So what price needs to do is, so price as what? So this is a low. This is a low like so. Higher low here. So this is a higher low. So what price needs to do is to break this higher low, okay, and then retrace a bit into this. So what price needs to do right now, price possibly still has a long way to go. I would expect price to come up a bit, okay, and take out this, because looking at this move, this mother candle here is a block of supply. Price has already broken out of this zone, and then price is currently retracing here like so. This is the first area of mitigation, the reaction, and then when price breaks this zone, anywhere above this zone, we can start looking for sales. Let's also check if price is in the discount level. Good. So anywhere above this zone, let me put a line there. Anywhere above this, from this zone, it makes sense to start looking for sell on NAS. So, and then that would also take out liquidity. You can also see this inside bar candle here. If you understand inside bar are also very strong demand and supply levels, right? Because a lot of consolidation happens in inside bar and then breakout. So a lot of orders is in this candle here. So price might possibly tend to retrace into this inside bar like so, which also aligns with our premium level. Let me remove this. So what I'm saying is that on NAS 100, if we are to sell because price is in the supply, you want to wait for price to come up into the zone. When price gets into the zone, it makes sense to look for sales, right? And that's on a daily. So that's what I'm going to actually, so that's where I'll stop for NAS. I wouldn't go a time frame deeper because I already have something concrete on daily. All right, so I'll just wait for this to happen. So let me just check something. So if we know that price is going to go up, let's check the 4-hour time frame and see if we will see a move. All right. So if we consider this, in a second, if we consider this price retracing like so, you can consider this little bit of structure as a little correction, and a price doing this. That's on the H4, and then this is a lower high that's been taken out like so. Price to cut this lower high, and then we are seeing price retracing. Okay, retrace into this block of demand here, and then ultimately price needs to create a higher high. So this move that is setting up, I believe, is setting up to come to go up. All right. So I would recommend, if you are trading NAS, we don't know what NAS wants to do right now. I wouldn't touch NAS honestly right now, because you know how NAS is, right? So it's best to trade NAS on very, very strong setups. Okay. So the next daily zone that I think NAS will react from is wait for price to enter this supply. Now, as it is entering this supply zone, it is also grabbing liquidity here. All right. So if you're looking for entry in this zone, your strike rate will be very, very high. So you have a higher chance of winning that trade if you find a very good setup for your entry. Okay. Hope that makes sense, Mr. Shelfumi. I'm sorry, I can't give you an exact zone to take entry on NAS right now because that's not fully set up for me. Okay. So let's check out silver. Is this silver now? XAGUSD. XAGUSD. All right, so silver, let's go to the weekly chart. So this will be our last setup for today, possibly. So this is the weekly time frame. Guys, I recommend that when you are doing your analysis, you want to take into consideration multiple time frame. Try not to base your trading on just one time frame. If you're trading from one time frame, you are not taking into consideration the macro nature of the Forex market. But if you are trading multi-time frame from the higher time frame, and then you walk your way down, you can adequately follow the story, then be on the right side of market. Okay. So price, as you can see, is trending down like so. Okay. And then what do we see? We are seeing a possible change of trend here. This higher low was broken. Is it higher low now or lower high? Lower high was violated here. Okay. So you can see price doing this little bit of here, like so, like so. So on weekly, we've seen a bit of internal structure here. Okay, but on a macro level on weekly, price is still very much bearish still, and this is the next area of supply here, like so. Okay, and then price has taken out this liquidity, this one. Okay, so what I feel price is going to do is price should still come up into this zone a bit. All right, so we can take entirely the zone. So once price gets into the zone, that is when you now start want to be looking for opportunity to sell silver, like so. So once price should do this, you now go to a lower time frame, like your 4 hours. And on 4 hours or your 1 hour, you want to see the order flow. The market should shift from bullish, from bullish to bearish. Once price is bearish, okay, look for a good entry, and then you'll be on the side of the market. So possibly before our next session, which is on Wednesday, most of these should have, played out properly. Okay, so don't miss Wednesday's session, guys, so that we can complete our analysis. Okay, someone is asking, so please, I want to know if my analysis is correct or wrong. If there was an opportunity for me to share my screen before the end of the class or the end of the class, because I've been on that GPS for a long while now. Okay, Mr. Michael, are you using your laptop to join the Zoom session? If you are, let me know. Mr. Victor, can we let him share his screen? Just let me know. Okay, so because you are not using your laptop, okay, maybe on Wednesday when you come, Mr. Michael, join with your laptop, because okay, you know what? Share your screen with your phone then. Let me allow you to share your screen so that we can all learn together. I know that GBP USD in the last 2 weeks has been taking out people's stop losses. A lot of liquidity grab happening. Hold on. Okay, Mr. Michael, you can share your screen now. I'm also going to unmute you. So unmute yourself, ask your question while sharing your screen so that we can all learn from it. So we'll go back to the So hold on. Well, for the person that asked about silver, you want to wait for the price to That's my take. Mr. Michael, we're looking for you.
Okay. Hello. Good evening. Good day. Sorry, I'm not able to share my screen. It's saying you cannot start screen share while other participants is sharing.
Okay, hold on. Let me stop my screen share and then you take over. Okay, so go ahead now.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much. I've been on this. Okay. So what I'm actually saying is that actually I don't want to call this place now. This here. Huh?
Okay.
Okay. I don't want to call this a breaking structure yet, because from my experience about candles, I can't call this a breaking structure because price has not closed above this, below this candle. It's just a weak. This is just a weak rejection. So actually, I'm expecting price to keep buying, to continue buying, and grab this liquidity here before the sell. But I think there is a zone here which is to get to. I think there is a zone here which is to get to this zone. Yeah, that zone. Yeah. So I think if we actually get to this zone, that after it has cleared this liquidity here before selling, before the proper sell. So going to lower time frame, let me just be very quickly. Going to lower time frame, this is what I have. This is what I analyzed, just as we analyzed in the class. I suspected that, okay, price will fall down to this zone and then mitigate this other block on 4 hour. There's another block on 4 hour time frame there. Then after price mitigates this other block. Now, respecting price action, that's an analysis I did. Okay. Yes. Sorry. I want to be very, very fast. I don't. So analysis that I did. Okay, just get out. So the certain price action. So a certain price actually respects this trend line, like some bounce back on this trend line. So after it bounces back on this trend line because of this breaking structure here, That's why it bounces back on this trend line. So that should lead to the move.
So
that bounce on this trend line should lead to the move that will take this price now.
Okay.
That should take price back to this zone.
Okay.
That should take price back to this zone before the proper sell.
Retracement.
Yeah, so this will be a major retracement. This buy here now should be a major retracement. So, because I'm not expecting this market to start selling from here.
Okay.
I'm not expecting the market to start selling from here. I'm actually expecting to keep buying until it gets to that zone, then clear this liquidity. So I just feel that maybe the price just respected these two zones and then started moving down. So that's just my own, because if you look at it, actually it's a downtrend.
Right.
You can see this is a confirmed, this is what we call it, this is what I observed as a breaking structure. You can see how this one, a lot of candles close below each other. But in this case, you can see it's just one candle. And I don't want to classify one candle below a zone as a breaking structure. Maybe if it had another red candle, if another red candle had closed below this one, I would have said, okay, there's every possibility for price to continue selling from here.
Okay.
But so thank you very much. So I just want to be corrected. Let me know how your own ideas. I want to look at it with your professional eye, so that I'll know Thank you.
Okay.
I can.
All right. So thank you, bro. So let me go back to GBP USD then. Now, I like the way you analyzed your GBP USD, which is good. Now, so let's look at what you have. Oops. Hold on. This is GBP USD, right? And then this is the zone that you found here, is low. So your setup is like this. So impulse correction, maybe something like this. And then you're expecting price to retrace, to break this zone before going back down. Am I correct? Mr. Michael? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let us look at this together again. Now we are in agreement that price is on a downtrend. So let's go a time frame higher to get a real structure. Okay, so if we delete everything here like so, this is the monthly time frame. So the monthly will give you a good perspective. So impulse correction, impulse correction. Okay. Let's use, hold on. Impulse correction. I'll use this impulse. Correction and then impulse. Now, if you're looking at this on the monthly, this is the breakout structure here. Now, one candle for me is enough. If the body of one candle breaks below a breakout structure, is enough. That validates this impulsive move here. So that means there's a supply zone here. Okay. And if you're looking at corrective moves, when price is in a trend, price does not need to, of course, this is a possible equal high here. Price does not always have to come to the extreme and take out liquidity. What you need to look out for is at least you want price to be at a premium level. Okay, so the premium on this particular move right here is anywhere from 50% here. So price is already at 50% in the Fibonacci. So anywhere within this zone is a good zone to look for sell opportunities. But if you're only looking to sell at this top, you will be missing out on possible good setups. So even right now, you can see price just tapped into this 50%. This is a good place to start looking for sells. That move that we're waiting for, that might possibly create the lower low, might happen from here or not. Okay, but looking at this, looking at the monthly time frame, just like so, the move will not happen from 50%. Okay, because I've not seen any form of serious liquidity grabs yet. So ideally, what you might want to see is a price should react at this 50%. So what we might see is in the next few weeks, we might see a red candle from here. And then ideally, we'll see price take out that liquidity. Okay, so price might react at this zone. Okay, on a micro level, this zone right here is a supply. All right, so price might react inside this zone, possibly. So if I react inside this zone and then drop, if price does not react inside this zone, the next possible zone the price is going to react will be somewhere here. This is the next. Let's use this inside bar zone here. So price might still go up like so, and then come all the way down. Hope that makes sense. So if you're looking for sell setups in this zone, you are very, very correct. If you're still waiting for price to come up here as well, you are still very, very correct. But don't close your eyes to possible scenarios that the market is, giving to us. So the moves can happen. Remember, like I always tell people now, the best thing you want to do when you are trading is to have a reactive mindset. You have to be as liquid as possible. Don't be too rigid and trying to predict what market is going to do. Remember that at the end of the day, we are all retail traders. We are competing with people that with hedge funds that have the capital that really move the market. So they do whatever they want to do. All right. And on a macro level, fundamentals have a lot to play as to regarding how price is going to move. So what we are just looking at right now is just technical analysis. We are not considering the fundamentals, okay? And that also has a huge role to play regarding where price should move. So I'm saying that because just be open to possibilities that the market is giving to you. All right, so this is a very good zone to look for sell setups inside the zone. Okay, hope that makes sense, my brother. Awesome. So any more questions, guys, before we call it a night? We've checked out, I think, 5 to 6%. Guys, if you have gotten value from this session, type in 10 trade in the chat box. This is courtesy of 10 trade. Okay, type in 10 trade. If you have gotten value from this session, okay, say 10 trade. Okay, let me know if we are on the same page. And then, guys, thank guys for waiting this long. So we have been here for a bit over an hour. Mr. Denny, thank you. Nobody's responding 10 trade, guys. So this is good. Mr. Denny, thank you. That means is if price is to sell from there to continue the trend, then I will have to sell. Yes, it's very Yes. Possibly. I'm not sure I get that question correctly. Good. So if you're on this presentation, this webinar, and then you don't have an account with 10 Trade, we want to invite you to check out our services, 10.trade. All right. So we're a multi-asset brokerage firm, and then we offer very, very interesting spreads, interesting services. And then we are not just concerned about services. We also want you to make money. That is why we are doing these weekly sessions. So every Monday and Thursday, we are analyzing the chart together as a team to ensure that you make the right decisions in the market. Okay, we want you to make money, because if you are making money, the company is also making money. So we are on your side. Okay, so let's call it a night for let's go to next. So we'll meet on Wednesday, and on Wednesday we'll continue where we stopped, checking out our analysis and also possible setups from Wednesday. Remember that this week is going to be a very, very interesting week. Every day of this week we have high impact news. That means a lot of possible trades that will happen this week. So Wednesday, same time on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Nigerian time. On Wednesday, we'll be here. Okay, awesome. So guys, I wish us all the very best. Okay, let's have a remarkable rest of the week. Bye-bye, guys. Cheers.